it's Hannah. I'm back. So as for the title of the video, I went to New York for the first time. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the first day and a half, and then the next video, part 2, will be the next day and a half. We got there on Saturday around 3 o'clock. Then we had all of Sunday, all of Monday, and then we left around 4-ish, 4 p.m. the next day on Tuesday. So, yeah, I loved New York. It was the best thing ever. So if you didn't know, New York was a big part of my life. I loved New York. I loved everything about it. When I was younger, like from the ages of 10 to, 16, 17? No, not 17. 15 or 16. I wanted to be a Radio City Rockette, so I was obsessed with New York. I loved it. And I had always wanted to go. I loved Broadway. I still love Broadway. That never changed. But everything was New York, New York. And, everything. I loved it. Okay, so starting on Saturday, so the first day, Saturday. So we got to the Detroit airport and left, obviously. So when we arrived in New York, we caught a cab, and I'm looking because I can't remember it. I don't want to mess anything up. So we caught a cab after our flight to the hotel, and we stayed at the Crowne Plaza, Manhattan, Times Square. That's the full name of it. And yeah, it was amazing. It's an expensive hotel, but it was everything. And we had a view of Times Square. So outside our window, I'll show a photo. I'll show photos throughout this video. This was outside our window, so it was Times Square outside, right there. We were right across, it was right across, out our window, we could see the M&M store. It was right there in front of us. And so when we got to the hotel, I had to call my mom and my friend to make sure they knew I was landed safely and all that. So after that, we went outside, and I was just standing in awe. It was like something out of a dream. It's just like, oh my God, this is it. This is New York. And on our way to the hotel, while we were in the cab, I got to see Radio City a little bit. And that was like, oh my God, what? So after, when we went outside, the first thing we did was stand in line for tickets at the ticket booth. And it's right under the big red stairs. And they sell Broadway tickets for cheaper prices than they normally would be. So, and there were a whole bunch of people that I think worked for the ticket booth trying to hand us these flyers, and I have terrible anxiety, so if for some reason any of those people are watching this video, I am so sorry. I was so scared of you guys. I did not want to talk. They're like, what play do you want to see? I was like, I don't know, don't talk to me. I'm scared. And I was wearing a Hufflepuff shirt, so they're like, you should see the new play Puffs. And I was like, yeah, but in my head, I was like, yeah, but I want to see something on Broadway. That's off Broadway. But I didn't want to say that because I felt like that was really mean. So, I didn't say that. So we got tickets. We ended up getting tickets for the play Be More Chill, which is just, I'll get on to that later, but oh my God, it was amazing. And so after we stood in the line, we went to McDonald's, and I was upset about that because, well, we were just really hungry. That's why we did it. But I told myself I didn't want to eat at chain restaurants in New York. I wanted to eat at the littler places. So that was our cheat. We went to McDonald's. After that, right next door or a couple doors down, was the Disney store, the 2-story Disney store. And oh my God, it was just so cool. And I didn't buy anything then, but later on, I did. And after the Disney store, we went outside, and there was a group performer, so we watched them for a little bit. And then after that, we went into the Hershey store, the Hershey Factory store thing. I don't know. I think it's called the Hershey Factory, I think. But that was really cool, and here's a photo of my dad with that. And we didn't buy anything from there, but it was cool, and I really wanted to buy everything because I like chocolate a lot. So that was a little difficult for me. I was like, oh my god. But yeah. So after that, we went back to the hotel because we were really tired. In the morning, we had to wake up to go to the airport at 5 a.m. So I hadn't slept. My dad could sleep on the airplane, but I cannot sleep on airplanes. So that was a little sucky, but is that a word? I don't know. So yeah, we rested for about 45 minutes, and then I had to get ready, and so did my dad, but I had makeup and stuff, so. So we got ready to go see the play, and a lot of people were dressed casually at the play, but I was dressed like this. And yeah, I still think Broadway is something you dress up for, so yeah. And so, we went to the theater. We saw it at the Lyceum, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's spelled like, up there, I'll put it up there. It's spelled like that, and then here's a bunch of photos from there. They'll go while I'm talking. And oh my god, it was the best thing ever. So my dad he did not like Broadway. He didn't want to see anything. He's that kind of guy, like a lot of guys don't like, especially older guys. My dad's an older man, so, you know, he didn't think it was going to be anything special, and by the time we were done, he looked at me and he's like, Hannah, we have to go see another play. I was like, what? What are you talking about? But that's a different day too. But he loved it. He was like astounded at how much he loved it. So I was so happy he liked it, and oh my god, they were amazing. The guy who played Michael was a different guy than it would normally be. Originally, I think it's played by a man named George. I could be wrong. Inside the theater was so beautiful. And this was my first Broadway play, if I didn't say that already. So I was just like looking around, amazed. And they had paintings in there. There's a photo. And I watch a YouTube video of these guys who restore and clean paintings with like a little Q-tip. You have no idea how badly I wanted to do that. They were so dirty, the paintings. And I was like, oh my god, what? And I don't know, maybe they can't be restored, but I think they should. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, so here's some more photos of me and my dad in front of the thing, and it says Be More Chill behind us. It was so cool, and now I am obsessed with all the songs from Be More Chill. I already knew one called The Smartphone Hour. I don't think I can play it, but if you look it up, it's on a lot of TikToks. That's how I found it, was the app TikTok, so. And then now I'm obsessed with Michael in the Bathroom. Like, Thomas Sanders just interviewed the guy that plays Michael, but we didn't get to see that exact guy. It was the different one, like I was saying. So after the, I keep calling it a play. That's what my dad did to me. He kept calling it a play, so now I call it a play. It's a musical, okay? A musical. So after the musical, we went outside and everyone was waiting at the stage door, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll wait at the stage door too. So I did, and I ended up getting autographs, and that was really cool. And here, I have a bag. This is a different day, but here's all the things I got at Be More Chill. So the tickets, we were the fourth row back in the front, and our tickets were, really? I thought they were $50. Okay. They were $71.50 each, which is, we were the fourth row back from the stage. It was only $71.50. So that's pretty amazing to me. I was like, what? Because you always hear everyone saying like Broadway is like $200. So while we were there, I wanted water because I was thirsty. So we got a $6 water bottle, and that's what it looks like. I will come closer. Here we go. It says Be More Chill. And then my dad got a drink, and it came in this, and it says Be More Chill, and I believe that is Jeremy on the front, the main character. And then here is my first ever playbill, and it is signed by the cast. Here's that. And it says the Lyceum Theater above it. So yeah, and that was really cool to me. I almost fell. So after that, I had been walking in my shoes that I had just got, that I tried breaking in. Oh, so I was getting blisters on my feet. Well, it felt like it. I didn't end up getting blisters. I got one, but not from that. But it felt like I was. And I was chafing. TMI, I don't care. So, you know, when you have big thighs or your legs touch, that happens. So, and I was in a dress. But, so I just wanted to eat dinner and just be done for that night. I was so tired. And yeah, so we went to a pizza place because New York pizza, it's famous, I'm pretty sure. So we got that and we went back to the hotel for the night and ate our pizza and watched HGTV because that's my go-to channel when I'm at a hotel. So that was our Saturday. And then on Sunday, as I said, I have the book. So on Sunday we woke up and obviously we got, I got tea, my dad got coffee. And we left the hotel. And we found the subway that we needed to. It took a little bit, but you know, we found it. And I saw a roach. Oh no, I can't do roaches. I can do rats. We didn't see a rat though our entire trip. That's upsetting. But it's fine. I got to see 2 Broadway plays. It's fine. We ended up getting off at the stop called 81st Street Museum of Natural History. And so that's where we went. We went to the Museum of Natural History, and the entrance was like right when you got off the subway. It was like right there, underground still, the entrance. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So we walked through the Museum of Natural History for a while, and here's a photo. That's a whale. I made a joke, and I said it's me, because I call myself a whale. But that's fine. Like how Shane Dawson calls himself a pig, you know? But I'm a whale. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, no one found that funny except me. So, after the Museum of Natural History, we walked through Central Park, and my dad's like, you know what? If we're walking through Central Park, we should find this place. It's famous. And I was like, okay, what's it called? And he's like, Tavern on the Green. So, it's a restaurant, and a very expensive one, might I add. So here's a photo of my dad in front of it. That's what it looks like. So when we got inside, they said, okay, you can either wait an hour to have brunch. Like, no, we're not doing that. So they said, you can just go to the bar then and have snacks, like everyone else. And so we ended up finding seats at the bar. And we ate snacks. Our snacks ended up costing about $80. Yep. So that happened. I got a Cherry Hill mocktail because I'm 20 and I can't drink. It's fine. And I got a Caesar salad. And like they said snacks, right? I was expecting like a mini bowl of Caesar salad. No. Like this big ass bowl of Caesar salad. I was like, okay, wow. That's great. So, and I ate all of that. And I also ate one of my dad's avocado poached eggs. Because, well, he didn't want it, so it's not like I stole it from him. He didn't want it, and he's like, here, have it. And I was like, are you sure? And he said, yes, so there you go. So after that, we walked around in Central Park a little bit more, and then we took a taxi back to the hotel to grab our tour tickets, because we had a tour later on in the night at 5:30. And so we left the hotel again, not the store. And we went to something I've always wanted to go to. And yeah, so we went to the American Girl store. Oh my God. Let me tell you how exciting that was for me. So when me and my friend Joanna were younger, we were like 9 or 10 years old. We went to Chicago. And we went into the American Girl store for about 5 minutes. And then, because we had dinner reservations at this place called Uno Pizza. I don't know, it's famous. That's what my parents told us, at least. And so we got pizza from there, and it was awful. Like, apparently it's a really good pizza place, but our pizza, it was disgusting. It was nasty. I can't even, like, tell you how bad it was. So me and Joanna were very, very upset because we had to eat disgusting pizza instead of walk around the American Girl store. So, anyway, I'm still not over that. It's been like 11 years, but it's fine. But no, I am over it. It's fine. But, you know, I wish we could have gone to the American Girl store. But it's fine because I did in New York 11 years later while I'm 20 years old. And I did buy something. So here's the American Girl bag. And I took photos. Joanna's favorite doll was Julie. So there's her. And when I first walked in the American Girl store on the main level, I was like, what just happened to all these dolls? Who are these people? You know, they had like old boys now, and I'm like, what? And they have the Be Yourself doll now, or whatever it's called, the ones that look like you, but they're wearing a different outfit. So then we went downstairs where all the older dolls, the ones I knew growing up, were, and there's a photo of them. I took a photo of them. And now, as Joanna's was Julie, my favorite was either Kit or Samantha, mostly Samantha. So I saw this, and I wanted to get the Samantha doll, but I didn't, because I didn't have room in my suitcase, and so I got a book. It's not funny, but it is, because I'm like, you know, it's interesting to me. And so it says Samantha, Lost and Found, and it's her and Nellie on the front. And they discontinued the Nellie doll, which I'm really upset about because I wanted her. Yes, I'm 20. Yes, I want an American Girl doll. People still collect them as adults. Okay, thank you. So, I did get this, and yes, I am going to be reading it. So yeah, I was gonna get a Samantha outfit. Then I realized I already have one. I have her, like, main dress. Her, is it plaid? Red? I don't know how to explain it. And my grandma, she sewed it for me. She used to sew me American Girl doll clothes. So that was cute. Or knit them, it depended. But yeah, so after the American Girl store, we went and got photos in front of Radio City, because as I explained, I was obsessed with Radio City. And I realized we could take a tour of Radio City, but we did not. So next time I go to New York, that's something I really want to do. So we also got a photo in front of Tiffany's. Here's those. And I wanted a photo in front of Tiffany's because breakfast at Tiffany's. I love that. So then we went to a little cafe because my dad had to use the bathroom. So we ate there for a little bit, and then we took a taxi back to the hotel because we were really tired, and it was like a 30-minute walk from where we were, so we weren't about to walk that. So we rested at our hotel for about, again, 30 to 45 minutes, and then we left the hotel to go to the tour, where our tour was. And so on our tour, I will be putting photos here while I talk about it. So the first thing we did in our tour was go to Times Square, where the tour begun. And it was cool, the things we learned. I learned that Times Square was not originally called Times Square. It was called something else. I don't know, but they said then they wanted to make it more popular, Times Square, so they said to the New York Times, hey, if you guys move into our place, we'll rename it Times Square. So they did. And they were originally in the building that now is all empty except for the bottom. It's a Walgreens. And that's where the ball is on New Year's. Photo of that. And so, the first real thing we did on the tour where we got off was at the High Line. And the High Line is a place, it's above, like, the ground. And you walk on it. And it's like it's made up of an old abandoned not abandoned, but old railway. I don't know how to explain it. Here's, if they have a thing, I'll insert it here about the High Line. So the next thing we did was go to Chelsea Market so we could eat. And we split up for about 45 minutes from our group. And in our group, there was only me, my dad, and a couple. So there was 4 people in total, and then our tour guide, of course. And so we walked around Chelsea Market for a while, and I learned that, I guess he said that's where Oprah, the O show is filmed, I believe he said that. And that's cool, I didn't know that. So next thing we did was we went to this little dock, or not little, it was a big dock area. And it's where, I don't remember the pilot's name, but he famously landed in the river that's there because he couldn't make it back to the airport, so he had to land in the harbor river area. I don't remember his name, but we saw that area. And then it was also where George Washington did something. He was with his group hiding, and that's when the British Army came and said, oh, we're gonna attack you, but Washington was like, nope, no you ain't. I'm sorry. He was like, no you aren't. And so they left in the middle of the night. And so yeah. And after that, we went to Washington Square Park for a little bit at night. It was dark at this point. And it was cool to see that all. It was like they have the arch thing, and then they had the statues of George Washington. That was really cool to see. And then we went on the bus again, and we got to see the outside of the Chrysler building. And all I could think of when I was there is, excuse my horrible impression, but what is it? What does she say? Make it shine like the top of the Chrysler building. Miss Hannigan from Annie. And so that's all I could think of when we were there. So right next to that was Grand Central Station, or Terminal, and we went inside of there, and that was beautiful. I love train stations. The aesthetic of it just is beautiful. And there was a brick in there. Not a brick, but it's like a rectangle area, because originally, back a long time ago, it was so, like, they were gonna tear it down because it was so, like, not destroyed, but it was getting to that point. It was still usable, I believe. I don't remember, but Jacqueline Kennedy, President Kennedy's wife, was like, hey guys, we have to restore this. So the brick, you can maybe see it in the photo, is how dirty it was when they restored it, and that's so people can remember and not let it get that way again. And I found that really, really cool how they left that. And then we went to an area where you could stand at one corner and someone could stand at the other, and you just talk or whisper normally, and it sounds like they're right next to you, but they're all the way across the room. And me and my dad did that, and oh my god, it was so weird, but it was so cool. So after we did Grand Central Terminal, the tour was over, and we went back to where we started in Times Square. And then me and my dad had heard from my aunt that we should go to Ellen's Stardust Diner. So if you don't know what that is, it's a diner where all the waiters and waitresses sing, and it was really cool to see that. Yeah, so we had to wait a little bit to get inside, but then we ate inside, and it was so cool. It was so, like, amazing to see everyone singing, and everyone was, like, clapping along to the songs. And yeah, it was really cool. So after Ellen's Stardust Diner, it was getting really late. It was like midnight at that point. So we went back to the hotel and slept. Okay. All right, so that was the first part of my time in New York. And I'll see you in the second part, which I'll upload in a few days. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a magical day. Bye!